Morning, guys. Morning. Welcome to another stream. I don't think anyone ever said the bottom hit, but James, yeah, no, I don't think that was ever said. So today we're watching some major levels here. Yesterday, you guys saw the push through the NASDAQ rejection points, right? You saw the break above the double top on the NASDAQ. That was key. We did not see that on the S&P 500. So we got the break above. Oh, okay. Sorry, James, I didn't see that. We did not see the break above on the NASDAQ, but we did not see the break above on the ES. We did see it on the NASDAQ. So what happens off of that, right? It's going to be very interesting. There's a must-watch level on the NASDAQ, the 12,250 to 12,2 area. That needs to hold today, right? We'll look at it. The ES did not break 3950. So, it's a little interesting. ES is slightly underperforming because of its surrounding sectors. Tech is the outperformer, probably off the back of some insane strength on the chip stocks. NVIDIA and AMD yesterday were beasts. That probably helped the NASDAQ. Apple's still at a supply. There's a lot of things to look at today to try to understand whether this move is going to hold. There's a lot of things to look at today to understand whether this move is going to try and hold intraday. On top of that, we have Tesla earnings after hours, which could change up everything. And then next week, we have a ton of earnings and a ton of economic news, which could change up everything. So it's going to be a very interesting next few days to next week. So let's try to prepare the best we can. Let's try to understand what's going on. If we're educated, if we understand what's going on, we can make better decisions. We can't predict what's going to happen, but we can prepare, right? All right, so today is the 20th. Some major levels to watch on the futures. That's something I want to show you guys. Economic and earnings calendar, we will look at that. The perfect retest. I'm going to make a movie about this level. The absolute perfect retest on NVIDIA and AMD. You guys know we talked about this yesterday. 160 on NVIDIA, 80, 81 on AMD. Absolutely gorgeous retest levels on both those stocks. It's the definition of the break and retest, and it's so clean. I want to show you guys that again. I hope the NASDAQ is not at 11.7. The ES futures is not what I look. I don't look at the NASDAQ index. I look at the NASDAQ futures. It's not at 11.7. So the perfect retest on NVIDIA and AMD is so clean. Netflix did not get more subscribers. They lost 1 million subscribers in the quarter. Tesla earnings today. We'll look at Tesla. Not going to say much about it because it has earnings, and it's really not something that I'm going to try to predict what happens. I'll talk to you about my game plan on it, but I'm not going to try to predict what happens here. Coinbase, actually a pretty nice breakout on Coinbase. I want to share with you guys this one. Meta, retest level. Have to watch this retest level on Meta. Amazon, retest level. Have to watch this retest level on Amazon. Apple, still rejecting the major supply above at 151. Netflix, Disney, Roku. We'll look at Netflix. We'll look at the sympathy moves. And then Google, 4-hour trend. And then we will look at the tickers that you guys want to look at. So, first things first, earnings calendar. Let's make sure we are all aware that today, after hours, we were looking at a pretty major earnings. Tesla earnings. Big time. Big time Tesla earnings after hours. I don't need to say much about this. This is market moving. You don't know what's going to happen. If you think you do, you're wrong. Do not play it unless you're like just messing around, I guess. If you really want to mess around with your money, we'll have to see what happens. But that is 100% market moving. Okay. Next, economic calendar. We don't have much, so I'm just going to leave that out. Next week is the economic calendar. Next week is the economic calendar. That's the big week for economic news, but we will pass that along for next week. Let's go ahead and jump into the futures. Yeah, Netflix calls are losing money. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a total IV crush on the Netflix side of things. So that's why you don't play earnings, right? Okay, what did the NASDAQ do yesterday? What did the NASDAQ do yesterday? The NASDAQ was able to break above this top right here, guys. So right around this 12,250 level, we were able to break it. The high of this candle is 12,262. I'm just calling it 12,250. The low of this candle, 12,255. Right around here is 12,250. So I believe it's around 12,250, 12,200, all in that general area. The market was able to break above it yesterday. That is a key takeaway. If you watched my video yesterday, you sort of get an idea of what I'm trying to say here, right? If you don't understand the analysis that I do here on the NASDAQ, then make sure to watch my video yesterday. It's in a little bit more detail. Here's your top. You got through it, right? What do you need to see happen to see the bullishness continue? What do you need to see happen to see momentum continue? You need to see the highs turn into support. You need to see the market turn this high into support. So if I go down to the 5-minute, you guys are going to see that the 12,250 level, as of right now, as we speak, look at what it is trying to do. Look at where the market is trying to hold here as we speak, on the dot. I mean, literally at the dollar amount. Look, this is the 1-minute chart. This is where the market is trying to hold right now. 12,250 on the dot. That needs to hold today. If we break 12,250, I would say you can give it a little bit of room, right? It's a little bit of a range. You could probably see a retest of this 12,180, 12,200. That is Monday's highs. I would say you could potentially still be bullish if you pull back to here and hold this, right? That is still potentially bullish if you hold these highs, right? You see this? Rejection, rejection, rejection. If you do not hold the 12,250, which I would like to see the 12,250 hold, if you break that, I would say you look for the 12,180, 12,200 as your next level of support, right? So definitely wanting to look for retest today if you want to see this market continue higher. That is what I would be watching, guys. That is like the one and only thing that you need to watch today. Does the NASDAQ turn this rejection point into support? This entire zone between 12,200 and 12,250, can we retest this zone? Can we break? Can we retest? Can we hold it as support? And can we continue higher? If there wasn't earnings, economic news galore over the next 2 weeks, I would say it's going to be solely based off technicals. But the unfortunate truth, guys, is that even if the technicals hold here today, Tesla earnings could totally kill it, right? If you hold here, let's say you push higher once again, and Tesla earnings are crap, then you're just going to get a drop again, right? So as much as I want to just play it off the technicals, we have to understand as traders that's not how it is. It's just simply not the fact. So as much as I love to see, as much as I'd love to play this just technically based, I could only do that before market close today. Because after market close today, Tesla is going to be the driver of which way this NASDAQ and S&P 500 move. So on the technical side of things, right, 12,250, that's your level. That needs to hold. If you break that, you have a little bit of support down at 12,180, 12,200. Ideally, you see this level hold right here at 12,250. If it does, I think you can see another push. If it holds, I think you can see another push. One thing I want to, actually, if you want to get a little bit more detail on that, I'm just showing you guys today's important levels. If you want to get a little bit more detail, a little bit further analysis, watch my video yesterday. All right, here's the 4-hour chart on the ES. The ES did not break above 39.50 in the intraday, right? It broke it in the after hours. It did not break it intraday. 39.50 right here, rejection, rejection. If I go to the 5-minute chart, you guys are going to see that on the 5-minute chart, the day closed at 4 o'clock right here. So the ES was trading below 39.50 as we closed the day yesterday. It was able to break through it in the after hours, but you can see we quickly dropped right below it, and we quickly found resistance at 39.50. So this to me is slightly concerning for the market. The fact that the ES is not able to get above 39.50 here is, in my opinion, a little bit concerning. You can see, if I draw this chart out on the hourly chart, you can see the rejections, right? Rejection, rejection. Look at what it's doing right now. It's starting to reject this again. So I'm just a little bit cautious. I see the break on the NASDAQ. I see the overall strength on the NASDAQ, but I have to understand that if the ES cannot do it as well, if the ES can't complement that NASDAQ move, if the ES rejects here, right? If the ES rejects this 39.50 again, it's going to bring the NASDAQ down with it. So have to understand that the ES is slightly weaker. You have to understand that the ES is still below these July highs. It is still below. This is actually late June. It is still below these late June highs. So let's watch out for it, right? 39.50 on the ES, that's a major level. You really want to see the market trade above 39.50 if you want to get bullish today. You need to see this market get above 39.50 to get bullish today. If we do not, if we push into 39.50 again in the intraday and reject there, then you might start to get some weakness. So definitely watch that 39.50 today, guys. That is very important. That's a level you have to see break today. That will free up the momentum. Okay? So 39.50 on the ES, guys, and 12.250 on the NASDAQ. These are levels that you really want to see on the NASDAQ. You want to see hold. On the ES, you want to see it break. Okay? So let's make sure we watch those. Dow. Wow, look at that. I haven't even looked at the Dow today, and look at what it's just, as soon as we go into the chart, it's already doing what, look at that retest already. So what is the Dow doing? This is the power of the levels we draw out. I haven't even looked at this chart today. Here's the Dow. You can see rejection, rejection right there around this 31.7. We broke it. We're pulling back. Where are we pulling back to? We're pulling right back to that 31.7 level. So for the Dow Jones today, guys, you have to see 31.7 hold the support. If 31.7 holds the support, that is a previous high. That is a previous rejection. Right here, previous rejection turning into support. That is bullish. If the Dow can hold 31.7 and move higher off of it, that is a bullish technical formation. Right? So that's what I would watch, 31.7. Russell. Let's get some more time here. Let's go to the 4-hour. So the Russell is similar to the ES, right? The Russell is a little bit weaker. You guys can see we have a huge level here at 1800 on the Russell. Why is this such a big level? Let me zoom out and show you why. Here's the Russell. You can see all of these rejections, just tons and tons of rejections at 1800. And look at what it's doing right now, right? Tesla rip. I'll see you in the chat tomorrow. If it don't, then I'll never come back here. Okay. All right. I guess so. Yeah, 1800, rejection, 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 rejection. And then you guys can see right here, you push up into 1800, and you got to watch out for that today on the Russell. You can start to see it's having a little bit of struggle. So the ES and the Russell look very similar, right? Those are the ones I'd compared, right? The ES, look how similar the ES and the Russell look. ES and Russell below the major rejection points. NASDAQ and Dow above. Look how similar those are. Look at the Dow there. See that retest of 31.7? Look at the NASDAQ. Look at that retest of 12,250. Crazy. So Dow and NASDAQ, identical. ES and Russell, identical. So watch those today, guys. I hope this gives you some insight as to what you need to be watching today. Very important stuff. It's going to be the deciding factor of how we trade today, right? If I come into today, if I'm getting my trading day started and I see 12,250 hold and I start to see some bullishness off 12,250, then I can start to trust some more upside. If I see the demand really step in, then I see some upside on stock like Nvidia, on Apple, on AMD, then I know that I can sort of trust that demand down below to play something to the upside. If I start to see 12,250 break, if I start to see weakness come in on the NASDAQ below 12,250, then I'm not going to be looking for upside on individual stocks. So you have to make sure we play our positions, our ideas around this NASDAQ level. This is going to be very important today. So make sure to pay attention to it. All right. This is something that this is just the cleanest. I mean, it really is. It's the cleanest. Okay. There we go. This is the cleanest break and retest that I have seen in some time. I know I say that a lot. I feel like I say that all the time. But it just proves the point, guys, that this is sincerely one of the best technical setups to be looking for across the board. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't be able to come up with all of these examples if it didn't happen often, right? I'm not making these things up. I'm not drawing these charts without it actually happening. And it seems to me that I find these examples a lot. And that just sort of proves to you guys that this is something that you want to be looking for on the market. This is something special right here, right? You can see the previous rejection here at 160 on Nvidia. You see the break above it, and you see the pullback to that level. If you look at what this looks like before the fact to get an idea of what you should be looking for, I'll pull it up here. Obviously, I share these charts every single day in the Discord, right? Look at this little break and retest of 160 on Nvidia. I will definitely be monitoring this today. If we turn 160 into solid support, there could be another push here, heavy resistance at 170. Look at this chart. Right? That is the start of a beautiful break and retest, and you can see what happened after this hold. This is what you want to look for if you're looking for a strategy to trade off of. If you're looking at how to find confirmation in plays, you just need to be looking for break and retest. It's simple and it's to the point, right? You have to be looking for these types of setups. That is beautiful. That is just really nice. I have really nothing else to say about it. So what's next? The next one is that you're actually finding another break and retest potentially, which is even crazy to say, but you are. So where is the previous rejection points on Nvidia? At 170, right? 170. 170, 170, right? So you can see the rejection points at 170. What is Nvidia doing this morning? Nvidia is holding 170 as support. Now, I will quickly give you a disclaimer here. This is not going to be as strong of a retest as we just saw because it's in the very short term. It's on the 1 minute chart. It's after a huge day to the upside. So could this not hold? Absolutely. I would be less confident in this holding than I would be confident in that 160 holding, right? I would be much more confident in this hold and this continuation than a really extended break and retest up here around 170. However, it is still something I would watch. You pulled back to 170, right? 170 is the previous rejection points. If you turn these rejection points into support, that is going to cause more upside. I would absolutely watch Nvidia off 170 today. If it holds it, I'd look for upside. If it breaks it, I would look for downside. Okay, AMD. Look at this, right? This one's not as perfect because it didn't come back right to the level, whereas Nvidia came literally right back to the level of 160. AMD came back to like 81. But you can see, guys, similar thing on AMD, right? Previous rejection point right here, previous rejection point, previous support. You break it, you come back down to it, you hold it as support, you rally off of it. Next level, you can see AMD is starting to get stuck here. So be careful of AMD here. I would be a little bit less confident on playing upside on AMD. Why is that? Because you can see the rejections are starting to come in actually. You can see the rejections here, you can see the potential rejections here, and you can see where AMD is starting to fail. So watch out for this 87 level on AMD. That's a little bit not. I would say that's not as clean as the NVIDIA move. The NVIDIA move is actually above that level, right? And it's actually starting to hold its support, whereas AMD is just a little bit laggy there. So watch out for that. Yeah, I was in AMD calls as well, Calvin. I got out. It is what it is, man. MU, once again, what are we looking at on MU, guys, right? What are we looking at on MU? We are looking at a classic textbook break and retest. Rejection, 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 support, right? Absolutely beautiful. So you break it, you actually retest it here, you retest it again, you hold it twice. Okay. Sorry, Rage. You're just you're a little bit unhinged today, man. So you gotta go. Not gonna let that distract the chat. So 4-hour chart, $60 level, rejection, 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 into support. MU, beautiful, right? Beautiful break and retest on MU. Definitely a watch. Just want to point these out today, guys. These are some nice levels. This is what you want to look for on these stocks. These are just technical formations that I talk about all the time, and they just come to fruition quite often. So if something is coming to fruition type quite often, then I would always recommend someone to be learning about it and trying to play it, right? So just wanted to share that with you guys. That happens on all time frames. You see it on the 1 minute. Here's another example. Why not? Let's do it again. Here it is on the 1 minute chart, guys, right? This is a intraday trading opportunity. This is an intraday trading opportunity. Here's Meta, right? Here is Meta. Can anyone show me, can anyone tell me what the play is on Meta here? Right? It happens on the 4 hour, it happens on the hourly, it happens on the daily, and it happens on the 1 minute. Where is your entry point on Meta yesterday? Right? If you're watching this stock move, if you're waiting for your break and retest, you're not getting into Meta because it's moving higher, right? I'm not getting into Meta because it's going up. That's not why you get into a play. I'm looking for something on Meta. I'm looking for my entry point. Where is my entry point on Meta here? My entry point on Meta here is this previous high of day, retest of high of day, turn the previous high of day into support. There is nothing more bullish than the previous high of day turning into support. You buy calls here, you put your stop under the retest level, your risk to reward is extremely tight. If you're wrong, you're wrong, because if you're wrong here, the trade is no longer setting up. If Facebook drops back below previous high of day, why are you in call options, right? That's what I love about this, because if you're wrong, the trade's no longer there, so you don't need to worry. You just say, okay, I took the L, I'm wrong. But it's not going to work out, because if Facebook or Meta was to break below the previous high of day, the chances are that it's going to double top and move back to the downside. But if it breaks the high of day, if it turns it into support and it starts to bounce off of it, the chances are that you just got into a trade with a beautiful risk to reward, and you can sit happy. You can sit there and be happy that you have a fantastic entry, and you can try to trade this thing back to the upside. And you can see what Meta did after that. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's continue. Tesla. Okay, Tesla. Don't ask me what Tesla's going to do. Don't ask me what I think. Don't ask me, is Tesla going up? Don't ask. Tesla, I just want to point this out. You're either going to get a break of this little flag to the downside, or you're going to finally see this supply break out. Either way, I think Tesla's going to present a lot of opportunity in the coming days, and that's really what I'm excited for. I think Tesla's getting tight down here. I think it will make a pretty nice move off earnings. Does it break this, or does it break the supply? That's what I don't know. I'm not going to try to guess. As a Tesla shareholder, of course, I wish it does this. I hope it does. I want to be able to make some money on my shares, but we'll see what happens. You're either going to break supply or break the bear flag, and sort of move down to the downside. So let's see what happens. The best thing to do on Tesla, in my opinion, wait for the move, wait for Tesla to get excited, wait for the momentum to come in, and then play it. Okay, that's my opinion. And the IV is insanely high. Don't ask no questions. The IV is ridiculously high on Tesla, guys. Jay Price, thank you, man. I appreciate that, as always. Thanks for always coming to the channel and supporting and donating. It's very much appreciated. Thank you, man. Last thing, the IV on Tesla contracts yesterday was 91%. That is absurd. You're just gonna get killed. So be very careful, guys. Okay, Coinbase. Actually, a pretty nice break on Coinbase, I will say. Right, you can see the double top rejection. Actually, triple top rejection, right? Triple top rejection on Coinbase. This was previous support, all in this general area. Previous support into a triple top rejection. And look at what Coinbase did yesterday. So can't really deny that that's a nice breakout. Am I seeing a break and retest right now? What is the high of this candle? Oh boy. Don't tell me I have another example for you. 63.35. is the high of this candle. This is Monday's highs. Oh, God. Yep. There it is again. It's like you just find it everywhere. Where did Coinbase pull back to and hold its support yesterday? What is that? What is this right here? This is 61. What's the low? 61.33. So 2 cents below the Monday's highs. Right here. You guys see this? See this right here? See that little circle? Where is that? What is the importance of that circle? Look at this. Let that soak in for a second, right? Beautiful break and retest intraday yesterday on Coinbase, turning Monday's highs into support. Look at the continuation. Absolutely gorgeous. I would watch Coinbase to continue. Definitely some momentum around the crypto names, for sure. I would look for a move towards 72. That's what I would look for. Maybe a move up to the top of this channel. 70, 71, 72. Los Franklin, thank you, man. Thank you again. Another consistent supporter of the stream. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. So, Coinbase, Tesla, NVIDIA retests, guys. Everything. These retests just are showing up everywhere. And now I want to share with you guys some retests that we can look forward to. Rather than it already happening, let's look forward to a few retests here that we can find together. And we can come back to the chat and hopefully say, wow, would you just look at it? Just look at it. Rejection, rejection, rejection. What did Facebook do yesterday? It broke right through it, right? Boom, straight through it. Now, what I want to see is a pullback to 172 on Facebook, on Meta. I want to see the hold, and I want to see this curl back up to 185. What does this look like? This looks just like NVIDIA. Break above key level, pull back, curl back to the upside. Meta, key level, break, pull back, curl to the upside. I want to see Meta back at 172. If it does, I will definitely be looking to go long off that retest. Okay? That's the first one you have to watch. Keep that on your charts. What's next? Amazon. Amazon. You guys can see, I'm going to use the 117 level. That's my level here. I'm going to use 117. You can see rejection, rejection. What did Amazon do yesterday? It broke above this rejection point, right? Amazon above 117. Push higher, pull back, 117, break and retest, look for the upside. Yes, absolutely. Only with the indices blessing. Absolutely. You're absolutely spot on correct, right? That is something that I have. If you hear me ever say something, guys, about a move on a stock, right? If you ever hear something come out of my mouth about a move on an individual stock, you have to understand that I am always in the belief that it has to align with the overall NASDAQ. Anything I say has to align with the overall market. If Amazon pulls back here and the NASDAQ tanks, Amazon's not going to hold 117. It's just not going to happen. So if it has the indices blessing, of course, absolutely. Always have to understand that. So Amazon 117 retest, Meta 172 retest, two major retests that I will be watching. You know what I'm going to do? Create alert at or below. Let's go 172.50 just so that we can prepare for it. At or below 172.50, alert. And then let's do an alert here. At or below 117. Let's do 117. Let's do 117.50. Okay, so we got an alert set. Let's look for them. Let's wait for them to come in. Now, right? Now, you patient. This is your patience time. You wait for it to pull back. You wait for it to set up. Okay, Apple. Where is Apple rejecting? Apple is still rejecting a very important level here. I want to show you guys. I set an alert not at it because I want to be aware of when it's coming in, right? I don't want to get an alert when it hits it exactly. I want to get an alert as it starts to get close, and then I can start to analyze. I want to point something out to you guys on Apple, right? I want to show you the outperformance on Apple, why Apple is, to my opinion, and I think to everyone's opinion, is everyone's favorite or is the strongest tech stock. Here's why, right? So you can see where Apple's trading. It is trading at March 14th lows, right? It's trading at the March lows right now. You're back at the March lows on Apple. If I show you guys NASDAQ, right? The March lows are up here around 13,000. So this is just an example of Apple versus the overall tech market. And Apple, if it is trading at the March lows, whereas the NASDAQ is trading still 6% off the March lows, then you can understand why Apple is an outperforming stock, right? So that is something that, I definitely like about Apple. That's why I'm a big investor of Apple. I think it always is a little bit safer as a tech name. So you can see the outperformance on Apple trading at the March lows, but you can clearly see the rejections that are coming in. Rejection or support there, rejection here, and it still is showing a rejection at 151. So Apple will need to break this level, guys, for the market to continue. If Apple cannot get above this level, the NASDAQ is not going to be able to move higher, right? Because Apple is a huge part of the NASDAQ. I think it's the largest, almost positive. So, yeah, you are going to need to see Apple break through 151. You're going to have to see the Apple break through this level. Hold on, I think NASDAQ isn't equal weighted. Is NASDAQ equal weighted? Yeah, okay, so NASDAQ's equal weighted. The Dow and the ES are... I know the Dow's not equal weighted. I'm not sure what the ES is. Is the ES equal weighted? I know NASDAQ is equal weighted. I know the Dow's not equal weighted. I know there's bigger parts of the Dow. So the higher the share price on the Dow, the more weight, right? So Apple has a decent size weight in the Dow. Not sure how the ES is. I would assume it's equal weighted with the 500 names. How is S&P 500 weighted? Okay, market cap. Okay, so if it's part of the market, if the S&P is market cap weighted, then Apple is the largest part, right? Apple's obviously the largest market cap in the S&P. Let's just fact check that. Largest S&P 500 stock. Yeah, Apple, right? Apple's the largest market cap stock, so it's the largest part of the S&P 500, right? So Apple index weighting 7.1% in the S&P 500, right? So that's always something you want to at least understand, because it's a big part of where the market goes. It's a proxy to the market. If Apple rejects here, the S&P is going to have a lot of trouble. It's the largest weighted stock in the S&P. It does matter, Coco. You don't just ignore that. It's not that it doesn't matter. It does matter, because if Apple has negative news, if Steve Jobs, or not Steve Jobs, if Tim Cook comes out with a terrible idea and says he went and gambled away Apple's billions of dollars, and it's an Apple related news event, that is going to cause the entire market to drop. So it does matter. Absolutely does. So Apple 150, 150, 152 area, really tough rejections, guys. See if it can get above today. That is really the most important thing on the individual stock side. It needs to break this level. It needs to break this support, rejection. It has to break this level for the ES to move higher, for the overall market to get more continuation. It is a very important break. Yeah, I think the Dow is pretty dumb how it's set up. Just off share price, it's pretty stupid. Like if they do a stock split, it's automatically not as important in the Dow. It's sort of dumb. I agree with you there. All right, Netflix, Disney, Roku. So Netflix had some earnings. Yeah, it happened a few days ago. Absolutely, that's sort of what I was referring to. But Netflix, Disney, Roku. I mean, all three of them are crap stocks right now. I will make that point first of all. They are all crap stocks at this point. I am an investor in Netflix. I do believe in Netflix long term. I continue to buy Netflix shares. I think this is a great price for them. I'm not saying that I have any type of expectation of making my money in any type of short term, but I think this is, as a mid 20-year-old, and Netflix is down in the 100s. I think this is probably an opportunity for maybe when I'm, maybe 20 years from now. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It happens. But I like this as an opportunity. When I see Netflix dropped as much as it has, I believe that with my time, that I have time, which is a very important reason of investing, a very important aspect of investing. Now that I do have the time, I think that I can take advantage of that time that I do have and potentially put a little bit of money into a stock like Netflix that I think will come back. So definitely something I'm watching, right? I'm an investor in Netflix, just to point that out. You have a nice upside on the earnings. You have these double top rejections here, guys. You can see double top rejection. You got through it. So what do you want to see today on Netflix? Ideally, you want to see it hold 207.50. You'd like to see it pull back and potentially hold 207.50. That is very important. If it does, that could be a very nice little double top retest. If you got a break, right, and a pull back to that rejection and a retest, that could be very nice. So watching 207.50, that's the first one to watch, and then 194 was the previous rejection that we got above. I am not playing I did not play options on Netflix. I don't really like to play short-term options on earnings. It's just it's a lose-lose situation in my opinion. So the expected move on Netflix, by the way, was I think $40, something like that, $30. So Netflix would have had to move above 230 or below like 170 for anyone to make money on options. So it needed to move above this and below this. So the expected move was high, and it got your IV crush came in and crushed all the short-term contracts. Anyways, I'm looking for 207.50 pullback on Netflix. That's what I would be watching for a pullback hold on Netflix today. If you get a pullback off earnings, that is the level I will be looking for support right here, 207.50. Okay. I want to show you Disney. Disney did make a little bit of a move. I'm not saying it really didn't do much, but I will share with you at least what I see in the short term. Disney was able to break back above 100. So you guys can see you have a previous support, a previous support, a previous support, right? Triple bottom support, which we broke below. We pushed back into it. What did we do, right? What did we do as we pushed back into it? We rejected it. Previous support into a rejection. Beautiful break and retest to the downside, right? Remember, break and retest are not just to the upside. Break and retest can be to the downside. And if it's difficult for you to see that, just inverse the chart, right? If we inverse this chart, what did Disney do here? If we inverse the Disney chart, look what Disney did. It had a previous rejection point, boom, boom, and it turned into support. That is the inverse of Disney. But you can see this is the actual Disney chart. It rejected off of it. So yesterday off Netflix earnings, Disney got a big push to the upside. Got a big push to the upside. You need to see it hold 100. You need to see it hold 100. That's the key. If it holds 100, then you might be able to find some consistency here. If it does not, you're going to fall right back below. Roku got a little pop. It's giving it all up. Roku's such a crap stock. I don't understand Roku's business model. I don't understand how Roku's in business personally. It's just a little crappy screen on my television that comes with this TV. I just don't get it. But I'm just, I guess, not educated here. Or I'm just right, and that's why the stock is so crappy. But anyways, that's my little rant on Roku. Anyways, so Roku usually moves off sympathy with Netflix. It did yesterday, but it's just giving it all back. I mean, Roku's just really getting tight here. Is it creating a wedge? Maybe, right? Is there a move coming here? Is this a wedge forming on Roku? Possibly. It does look like it, right? You have lower highs and higher lows. You will come to an inflection point here eventually. Which way does it go? Does it do this or does it do this? There should be an inflection point here at some point. So let's see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Roku, just wanted to point that out because you got a little bit of a pop off at Netflix earnings, but it seems like you're giving it all up. So yeah, anyways, not interested. Okay, last one I got for you guys today is Google. Google 4-hour trend. Here it is. Actually, this is the daily chart. I got out of Costco, guys. I took my $800 gain. Here it is. So yesterday, closed Costco. I was in at 21, got out at, what did I get out at? Got out at 29. So in at 21, out at 29, about $800 gain. I went ahead and closed Costco, guys. I entered that trade right here, the 14th. I am taking a Costco August 19th 500 call for 21. So I opened it the 14th and I closed it yesterday. It was about a week. Made $800 on it. Just wanted to just update you there. All right. Anyways, Google. I really like the possibility of Google to push to the upside off this 4-hour trend. That is definitely something I'm watching if the market is strong, right? You can clearly see the trend that is here. You can clearly see this little channel of support. Every time it hits it, it bounces off of it, right? Support, support, support. Consecutive higher lows, right? Consecutive higher lows. Hold up, push to the upside. I would love to see this get to the top of this channel. That's really what I'm looking for. So looking for Google to hold this 4-hour trend and continue to the upside. That is something I'm definitely watching today. If the market is strong, right? Market needs to be strong today for that to happen. Let me quickly get to the NASDAQ. I want to get an update on what it's doing. Okay, so it's still sitting right here at 250, huh? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If we break this, we could definitely see some downside, guys. We could definitely see some downside. That's one contract on Costco. All right, let's go to the stocks that you guys want to look at, and then we are going to get out of here. And I'm going to head over to the chat. So, live stream tickers. All right, we looked at Google right there. We looked at NVIDIA. We looked at Amazon. We looked at, looked at Google. We just looked at Google. So 4-hour trend on Google. Yes, data. Just today. I got a little bit of a late start today in there. All right, Qualcomm. Qualcomm, just want to point out the rejection point again, guys. Watch out for Qualcomm triple top. It's still not over it. You have to see it over it before before you look at anything. It has to get over that level. End phase has to get over this high, 218, 220. It's still stuck below. That has to go. It has to get over. I'll go over Mara because I know everyone's going to be all hard about it. So Mara, you can see a rejection. You can see the big break above. It's in no man's land at this point, guys. I mean, Mara could just be a very nice momentum type mover. That's really that's the game you play when you trade a stock like Mara, guys. It's going to be all momentum based. So best of luck. It's going to be a little bit difficult. I would watch this 1288 as support. Why is that? If I go back, you guys can see it right back here. 1288 is this previous rejection point right here. You guys can see 1288. If I go over to the left or to the right, 1288. Right there, right? 1288. So best of luck. That's all I could say. It's a momentum play based off Bitcoin. It's gonna do its own thing. Just don't be the last one in it. That's what I'll say. Walmart. Walmart. 4-hour chart. So look at what Walmart's doing, right? Walmart's turning this 128 level into support. You can see how consistent it is holding this level. Let me zoom out. See how it continues to hold this 128.50. So definitely watching Walmart there. It's a slow moving stock, guys. So I would just be a little bit cautious. The big level that Walmart needs to break above is 132.50. Right? That's the big level back here, 132.50. Costco we went over, or we didn't go over the technicals, but I got out because I saw relative weakness to the NASDAQ yesterday, guys. The NASDAQ was pushing higher and Costco was moving lower. When I saw that, I said, okay, it's time. So I would just look for Costco to hold 515. That's a must hold on Costco. If it breaks that, the trade's over. Microsoft, really, really weak Microsoft, guys. I would stay away from Microsoft right now until it really does something. Very weak Microsoft. I mean, literally little to no reaction from the NASDAQ strength yesterday, which is just really strange to me. So, yeah, don't like Microsoft right now for upside with the tech market. It's just not following it. Snow, rejecting that head and shoulder formation, 152.80. Yeah, I'd look for downside, right? 152, rejecting on Snow, little head and shoulder. Shopify, rejecting 35. That's a big level. Shopify needs to get over 35. Emmanuel, please stop spamming the same exact ticker in the chat 10 times. I'm not looking at Shopify because of you spamming it. It's in the ticker form. So please don't spam the same chat. 35. You can see the rejection right there at 35. That needs to break. PANW. He's still spamming it even though I did it. PAMW. Yeah, just sort of stuck, guys. This does not look very good. Let me zoom out. Yeah, it's just in a really bad channel. I would wait for PANW to reject outside or above this channel, right? I need to see it outside of this channel. UNH. UNH is still a nice hold. It's not really making too much of a move, but look at this retest, right? 520 retest, still holding very nice. CNC. Yeah, I agree with you there, James. CNC, yeah, nice breakout of 90. I would look for it to retest. We already did AMD, NVIDIA. We already did Netflix. Just go back to the stream. Last but not least, CVX. Really nice push. I mean, we talked about this one, right? We talked about the XLE bounce potential. XLE back above 70. That's good. Look at Oxy off the bounce. Look at ExxonMobil on the bounce. This is a play that I should have taken. But I might not be over. So CVX off 132, look at that hold. Look at XOM off of 80, look at that hold. Very nice. Definitely something to monitor. All right, guys, if you could just press the like button before you head out. If you could just scroll down, take 1 second out of your day to press the like button. It very much helps the live stream. It very much helps the streams get out to more people, for the channel to grow. And if you could just do that as a sign of any type of appreciation, if there's anything inside of you to appreciate the streams, if there's just a glimmer of that appreciation, a like would be fantastic. Happy birthday, Adam. GG. Happy birthday to you, Adam. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you do enjoy the live streams. If you do, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're about 1,000 subscribers away from 50,000 subs. So if everyone in this stream, if no one in the stream was subscribed, then we could get to it right now. But I think some of you are probably subscribed already. But if you're not, press the subscribe button. If you want to trade live with me every single day, the link is down below. It says trade live with me. If you want to get my technical analysis in a text format on the futures and individual stocks, down below it says free technicals. You can check that out as well. Thank you guys so much. I will be here tomorrow. I will not be here Friday. I will not be here Friday. Okay? Just a reminder. Peace out.